Hey, what's going on? It's the Heat 76.1. What is King talking shit?
It's your boy. We'll make it. What's up, though?
And Los in the building.
We
And
back at it again.
DJ M. Everybody's trying to disrupt me.
Right? Yeah, I noticed that. I noticed that, yo.
DJ M, you need to hurry up with your
about the
intro.
DJ, yo. The
No,
DJ's the
she's
one
the
that
reason
counts
why
us
we got
in.
the-
You know, DJ M should be first. Honestly.
Yeah, DJ M should be
Thank you,
first.
thank you.
Yo, honestly.
Yeah,
Just go
DJ
ahead,
M.
because see, you know when the drop is going to end.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
You
Right.
Go ahead
You
and
should
take
get
it.
your own DJ M
That
drop.
millisecond counts. That
Yeah,
that
let's
awkward
get it in
silence.
order.
You know what I mean? That's radio play, yo.
DJ M drop.
We pay money for that little air.
DJ
M.
What's
Yeah.
up, though? Yo, but for real, look outside, guys. This typhoon is coming.
it's
Finally.
getting-
It's getting wet outside,
For
yeah?
real. Wetter than your wet tour. What happened to that?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Get to him.
Hey, that's not my problem. Hey, no.
it's not too
I got my deposit
Yeah,
back.
right now it's not that bad, but I'm sure it's gonna start getting. If you live like on 4 floors or higher, it's a big gust. Because actually, I got home and my TV was on the floor because I left the window a
What?
little cracked open, and like I was scared. But
You got a small TV?
I bought this cheap futon type of couch that you recline. You got to fold it all the way up to go back flat. You know the type of futon, but it's like a
Yeah.
chair. Anyways, I bought that from Don Quixote. I bought 4 of them, and I put it on the floor because I like to sometimes watch movies, just lay down on that shit. It's just quick and easy. Anyways, thank God I left it in front of the TV because when I got home, the TV was on top of that. But
Oh.
the corner nicked on it, and so the floor has a dent. And I haven't turned it on because I was in a rush. So hopefully it still works. But yeah, keep your windows closed and any loose items, man, and keep your eyes on the road if you're driving.
Yeah. I ordered me a sex sofa.
Because a lot of people can't drive out here. So
Yo, yeah. That's true.
Yeah.
I don't know what they get their license in Asia or some shit.
I don't know what they get the license at.
I feel like we should talk about dreams and goals today because I feel like that's something people run away from as far as like having dreams and not following them, not setting goals to get to the bigger picture. And especially with you in the music and you with your clubs and you DJing, I'm pretty sure y'all all had to make sacrifices and do certain things, cut people off or whatever the process was to get where you are and then build from that. So I don't know who wants to start.
I think Will wants to start first.
Thank you, Will.
Well, call me out. Well, the first
Well,
thing I can say is the people that you start with are not going to be the people that you end with. That's for sure. And you have to accept that now because if not, it's going to be a hard time for you to transition and put yourself like in that mentality of being the first, like
Right.
at the end of the day, nobody's going to, if you have a dream, nobody wants that dream more than you. So like if you expect someone else to do the work for you, then it's not going to happen the way you want it and you're going to be disappointed with it. But
Facts.
I started off, I moved out here, took a risk, man. Like I had a good job in the States and BMW, nice apartment, and I moved out here and I was staying at a guest house. I landed here with a backpack and 2 suitcases. I stayed at a guest house for like 2-3 months, and it was with like people from mainland. It was no privacy. Then I got a job at Pizza Hut, and that gave me sofa status, and then I built myself from there. And then I started pursuing the music stuff, because I get residual income every month. So I use that out here to survive. And it's hard because you're a foreigner. But I mean, if you want something that bad, you're not gonna stop. And then you start getting into the character of realizing what you have to do and what moves to make, and know that every decision you make has a ripple effect. Whether you do something negative or positive, it's gonna come back. Because just like if you watch the waves, man, it goes in and out. And just like your decisions, man, you do something now. If I didn't want to do this radio today, maybe next weekend Chris be like, oh man, you cut from the show, like because of that decision. Or I make this I make this decision today and people will listen and they feel it, and guess what, maybe I get a message in my email and somebody say, hey, come do this with us, I want to work with you. So everything, you don't know what's going to happen, so just do it and take a risk, man, because anything's possible.
Yeah,
I'm Gaijin. If I can make it in a foreign country, there's no excuse. Honestly, there's really
no
no
excuses. I like
yeah,
that.
that's true. True.
Tris, I know you want to go next.
Oh,
Of course.
I do want to go next?
Yeah, drop some gems, man. Come on.
To elaborate on his point, the first point, which was one biggest point for me, was the people that you start off with is not always going to be the person that's going to have your back at the end of the day or whatever. And I learned that the hard way.
Yeah.
When I first came out here. Actually, not when I first came out here. When I first started the entertainment thing, I learned that, and then I lost a lot of money doing that. But you learn.
Exactly. It wasn't a fail. It was a learning.
It's just a
lesson.
learning.
Everything.
Everything's a learning
Good
experience.
correction. I'll take that.
Yeah, it's not a failure. It's a learning experience. I learned a lot. And I'm able to nowadays I'm able to drop knowledge to younger people on that particular issue. So
Ooh,
That's
this is
yeah.
a different King Takashi.
Right?
Yeah,
I was about
right.
to say that, man.
I'm impressed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is actually King Takeshi talking right now. Like, if you guys don't believe
Yeah,
me,
yo,
man,
I'm
like,
gonna flip
Very
this so y'all
first
can
Yeah.
time.
First
he
time
says
he's
something
serious.
He's on
I
a,
seen a
he's on a
twinkle in
different
his
wave
eye.
today.
Yeah, I mean,
he actually looks normal right now. Like,
yeah, I
He
am to
doesn't
know.
have a king crown or nothing.
Nah,
tonight.
this is my business look right here. You know what I mean?
Why in typhoon weather though?
Yeah.
Nobody gonna see.
Nah, because I'm trying to make some babies later.
Ew.
Yeah. For me, I guess.
Way to
like,
end that, bro.
a few weeks ago, I kind of like was thinking about what I wanted to do or what if my job was like actually making me happy. So I always had this lingering like idea that I wanted to act, like even when I was younger, and I just never wanted to. I didn't know for sure how to go about doing it. So as of like the past couple weeks, I've been just familiarizing myself with the craft, either watching movies and then watching the behind the scenes, the interviews with the actors, and just like not just having the dream. Shout out to Will Coles, who I met yesterday. He just was he put like a different quote out there in perspective. Like, boys have dreams, men have goals.
Yeah.
Men set goals. So with that, like, you can't just have the dream. For the people who know what they want to do anyway, you know what you got to do. Like, you
Yeah.
have to put it into action. So I've been like, aside from reading and watching movies, just trying to make contact and talk to people who are doing it. Like, you'll never be able to get information if you never say anything. So communication is definitely key, and just remembering the bigger picture. You got to know why you wanted to do it. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? So that's like the big idea. So with that, I'm just on like a different wave now, and certain people you got to really assess. You can't just like let them be around and drain that
negative
that
energy.
negative energy. You got to
No.
shoot all that, because
Half of
there's
them
a
are
bunch of dream
distractions
killers.
too.
Distractions,
Way
where
distractions.
it comes in people, social media, whatever. There's a bunch of distractions.
Tell
You
you
just got to
you
stay
can't do
focused.
it.
And I'm in no place to say like I've made it, but I
Right.
now have a clear mind and a clear vision, and that alone is enough. So.
With consistency, you'll
Right.
make it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Because I love when people tell me I can't do something. That's
Yeah.
that's just.
I tell
take that
people,
as a
I tell
challenge,
people,
facts.
people that got dreams got their eyes closed. Visionaries got their eyes open, and it's straight up, because a lot of people that say they got dreams, they end up just saying it's a dream, and that's
Yeah.
all they say. But if you have a visionary, if you're a visionary, your eyes are open, and you don't have to say it to nobody. You're just gonna go do it.
Yeah.
Because visionaries get shit done. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, just do it, Nike, for real. Just do it, because you're gonna learn from it if it was a mistake or not. Then process of elimination. Let's not repeat this step, and that's how you get better and you grow. Like, it's
Be more effective.
Getting off your skin and stop being
Yeah.
comfortable.
So many people are just like okay with being average, or just going through their daily routine and just doing the same stuff over and over again. And I was in that for a little bit. Just when I joined, I was having the intent to be in the military for 20 years. So for
Right.
me to now be like, all right, I'm getting out for sure. I'm going to film school. Just, people, as far as like the GI Bill, taking advantage of that. For
Yeah.
those people who get out and don't take advantage of the GI Bill, you are tripping. That's just my
tripping.
personal opinion.
I'm
Like,
tripping.
as far as like the Yellow Ribbon program, if you don't believe me, go read about it yourself. There's
Yeah,
there's
that shit
options.
works.
There's options out there for real.
Yeah, I'm in music school right now.
I'm actually
Exactly.
taking dance classes, bro, so I can do some popping in my music videos.
Oh,
And it's just, but not like crazy Chris Brown stuff, like simple stuff, like just two steps. It'll make a music
Like a
video.
choreography.
It'll look good. Like, I'll have dancers dancing when I'm reciting my music, and then I'll do a couple of the same moves with them. You know what I mean? Like, to bring out the hype. But it's just something about being creative and getting out your skin and stop being comfortable and do something different, because you don't know what works for you unless you try it.
Right.
How about people and not realizing how important it is to spend time with yourself? Because that's hard for a lot of people today. Like, spending time with yourself is a big deal. Like, as far as how are you gonna move on to, say, for example, relationships if you don't even know who you are as a person? You want to
Exactly.
take time to get to know another individual when you don't even know who you are. You don't even know what kind of somebody asks you what's your favorite food. You don't even know. Like, you can't even answer the question. You talk to people that give you advice, and you're like, oh, how did you get that? Well, I read a book. I read. Or I watched a documentary, or I watched something to stimulate your mind in a different way, rather than just
Right.
Instagram posting
Yeah.
and memes and all that out there. Because that's a big thing. Like, what is your take on
Yeah.
alone time?
That's what man. It's crazy you brought that up, bro. Because I'm always by myself. I go to American Village. I sit by the sea by myself. I sit I watch the ocean, the waves. I write my music by myself. Like, when I go out to eat by myself, a lot of the average people look at me like, yo, you're a loner, and I'm
You're
like, nah,
weird,
bro.
right?
Like,
Right.
I don't need someone to distract me, because you sitting with your friends, right? your main focus is your friend. You're eating your food, you're talking, you're conversing, whatever, and you're not focusing on
Your surroundings.
Your surroundings.
Yo.
You might see something that might catch your interest that you like. Like, for example, the more I sit by myself, the more I realize that it might seem kind of weird, but birds are crazy. Like, you watch
you
birds,
learn
bro,
from-
and the way if you watch them enough, man, like, you watch how they pray, you watch what they say and how they communicate. Like, I don't understand what they're saying, but you can see what communication is, and like, you're just like, wow, that's kind of cool. Or watching the waves and you see the little crabs come out and you see this crazy stuff that they're doing to protect their family. Like, I was sitting writing music by the ocean, and there was this crab that kept coming out and just staring at me. I'm like, what's good, bro? Like, like, what's up? But, I was just watching him, and he was doing, he had a little family down there, so he was out there protecting and make sure that me, the threat, wasn't getting close. You know what I mean? So, like, I was like, wow, that's crazy. Like, I know people, it's normal to y'all, and y'all might be like, oh, that's stupid. But no, that's because your average people enjoy other people's averageness. So that's why I categorize people as average, and above average individuals find out more about themselves. So, like,
say
now,
that again, please.
No,
I
for
feel
real.
like some people need
Average
to hear that.
people enjoy other people's averageness, and above average people enjoy their own. Like, and I love myself. I can honestly say I love myself. At the end of the day, if I make music and it's not good, or if I perform and I was too drunk, at the end of the day, I learn, and I don't care what other people looking at me like, because at the end of the day, I pay my bills, and when I die, there's no such thing as bunk bed coffins. So fuck y'all.
Facts.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, opinions don't do shit. Like, literally, other people's opinions don't do shit. If it makes you happy, that's all that matters. Because I'd rather live my life happy than worried about being a prisoner in someone else's mind because I'm worried about what they think about me.
Facts.
Like, that's
that's true.
real shit.
Yeah.
But
Absolutely.
banger.
Jan.
Jen, yes, you're next.
I was listening, but just I don't know, for the goals and stuff. So business-wise, I try not to step people's toes. That's the one
Be
thing.
respectful to everyone, right?
Because
I feel
I
you.
believe that it goes around and comes around. So if competition is different, so everybody there to win it, so I go there to win it. But I'm sure I have a lot of haters, but not enemies. So I always get all the support possible. Yeah, I got a lot of haters, but no enemies. So Gucci.
Mm-hmm.
And I always like
That's what's
when
up.
I'm making sacrifices or compromises, I make sure what or whoever I'm making a sacrifices for that I'm happy with. That it worth making a sacrifice to it's needed and well worth it for me to back down to give away or whatever. So that I'm sure it'll come around always when I need it the most. So for that. And the other day throw me out is my friend asked you, so simple question, who are you?
That's a deep question.
And I was like, other than your teacher or DJ, who are you as a person? It took me so long.
To answer that.
Yeah, I was like, man, never really is the simplest question, but I never thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
So I was just, we doing like those tests, writing down who am I, kind of, who am I in the core, and I was like, man, that's a deep. It's like I couldn't find the answer. I know. I was like, man, thank you for asking.
Right, because it puts it in perspective. But yeah, so my boy Markel over here, he gave me a book. It's called The Way of the Owl by Frank Rivers. And just to talk about what you said about not stepping on other people's toes, his quote was, it said, alliances shift, so respect everyone because today's enemies can be tomorrow's allies.
Yeah.
And that's
That's
deep.
true,
You
yeah.
have to treat everyone you come across with respect, no matter how much they badmouth you or whatever, because you never know. That person could be a connection to
Right.
Yeah.
whatever career field
It
it
might
is
be
you're
an
trying
asset,
to do.
man.
Yeah.
So
That's why you
that's
gotta
a
just
big,
learn to
big
be
thing.
cordial. You might not like someone, but you have to stay professional and
And
not
I
let it
learned-
show
yeah,
because real recognize real, man. So if you have a problem with someone and they know it and they're not professional enough to be cordial about it because it's professionalism.
Right.
They know, you know what I mean? So I don't have to show that I don't like you, but guess what? I'm not gonna do business with you unless I see you valuable to me,
Right.
because I might be valuable to him, and it's like he was saying, you never know, man. Stuff come around, bro. You know, look at for example Russ, right? That music artist. I don't know any of his songs by heart, but he's popping right now. His biggest mistake is that he went on the radio and he started bad mouthing everybody and saying that he did it on himself and all this stuff, and then all these bloggers, they didn't want my stuff and now they want my stuff, and I'm telling them go F themselves, and I'm like, but some bloggers become famous podcasters, DJs, all
Yeah.
this stuff, and they
He
might
closed
be
a lot of
management,
doors for himself. Right there.
So just because you don't like someone doesn't mean all these people that were like, yo, I bang with Russ, let me get your stuff. And he said that. What if they get promoted and he has an asset to work with Jay-Z or something,
Yeah.
you know? And he's like, nah, fuck Ross. You know, like,
Yeah.
it's like that, you know?
Yeah. Oh, another thing you reminded me when you had that like conversation about social media is like far as posts you put out. For those people who are trying to build relationships and meet other people and network, be careful what you put on social media because you'd be surprised the people that watch. As far as like you venting or whatever on social media, be careful what you say. Don't bash anyone.
Right.
Because that.
And just because they don't
Yeah.
like your stuff doesn't mean they didn't read it. Because I'm that type of person. I read it and I like it, but I'm just lazy to do one tap. So imagine everybody else that does that. You know what I mean? So like just because you got 2 likes doesn't mean only 2 people saw it. Like it might be that one person that's important and he sees it and he's like noted. You know what I mean? Like
Matter of fact, I hear that all the time. Like, yo, I see.
you want the attention. You seek it. Like look
Well,
at me.
no,
like
it's
this
not about the lights. I mean, I hear it all the time when I'm walking up and down the streets. They be like, "Oh, I saw your post." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I didn't
But
know
then-
you seen my post.
But they, they never
You know
liked
what
the
I'm saying?
post. They never
They
liked the
was
post.
scared.
What? Yeah,
Why
but-
did you like it, my nigga?
Yeah, I said I don't care. I mean, me, I'm always gonna speak my mind.
On some real stuff, man. If I wasn't
That's
doing
why I have a
music,
LinkedIn
I
account.
wouldn't have an Instagram. I wouldn't have a Facebook. I wouldn't dress like this. But I understand that I'm not. No, just like everyone else, man. I'm insecure. I have insecurities that I don't believe I'm that good looking because I know where I came from. You know what I mean? Like I literally
I think
came
I'm
from
good
nothing.
looking though.
So because if other people find me attractive, that's what's up. Let me use that as value. Let me dress up nice and make music and then get the attraction so people want to buy my stuff or buy into my brand.
Attention.
And if it wasn't this route that I was taking, man, I would have no Facebook, no Instagram. I'll probably have my hair growing out like crazy and like just
You got a
chill
LinkedIn
and
account?
make money some other way.
You have a LinkedIn account?
I have no LinkedIn account.
You need to
I
have a
don't- I do
LinkedIn
not-
account, dog.
Listen, I will do a LinkedIn account when
That's
I
a
feel like
professional
I am.
Facebook.
I didn't even know what it was.
That's a
It's like a,
professional.
it's
Still
like
don't.
a,
Please
it's like a
enlighten
Facebook
me.
resume type.
So LinkedIn account is like the professional portion of Facebook. So this
Just
is what,
Facebook or
no, it's not. It's not Facebook. It has the same format as Facebook. But so this is where you get all your connections and your networking
like
stuff.
CEOs and stuff.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
that.
Like very important people in the music business. All of them have LinkedIn accounts. This is how they talk to each other. They make posts on there, and then you go in there, you read it. They have groups, the communities, all that stuff you can talk to. That's how people get jobs, like these high-end jobs that you don't even know about. Is on that
Yo,
particular.
that's crazy. You can get a job on a LinkedIn account now.
Yeah, you can.
Welcome to 2017,
Facts.
Like,
That's
like you look at mine, it's like
where
I have
technology stunting evolution.
I have like
I'm sorry.
202 connections now on mine, and I started off with like 3.
Yeah,
me get
those
one of them.
connections have other connections.
Yeah.
So you're right. It
Because
matters.
everybody connects to somebody.
Right.
Everybody is.
Even L.A.
Small
Reid is
world.
following me on
Who
LinkedIn.
knows, man? That's big.
No, he might hit you up for a feature.
Oh, he will. He will. I've been putting music out there though. I've been dropping my beats.
Well, you don't put it on Facebook.
Huh?
Why don't you put it on Facebook?
You heard my music before, right?
No, man.
Ron, you haven't never
The
heard?
Bando Jones cover, that wasn't even your music.
No, that's not me. That's a parody. That's
Yeah, that was
that's
funny.
a different
That
style.
was funny, though.
That's a different style. Hey, I got one coming up though. Hey, I'm about to drop that Papa Duck one, the parody for the Papa Duck one at my new Love Hotel room.
Wait,
Here
you
we go with
sing
this.
or you rap?
I'm a producer.
Oh, okay.
That did not answer anything. He tries to sing. Let's say that. Let's say that he tries to sing. man. I wish I knew exactly. I have it on my Facebook. That video that you're talking about with Bando Jones, where
I
he
have
was
it, I have
wearing. He had braids like.
I was sexy as hell.
And he's wearing his crown. He had like a robe, his chest meat hanging out, and like these tight pants. And he
I look
walked
like
down the
Rick Ross.
stairs. He got on Diamond stage. There's a stripper pole, and he started singing and dancing to Dando Jones. Took off his
And I
shirt,
did some stripper dances.
and like it was hilarious, bro. Like I give it to Chris
Oh
because he
my.
got the balls, man. Because I would not do that.
I am. I will.
Because
Matter of fact, I got another video
that's
coming
your
out.
image you're trying to get, right? You're just trying to be that out guy, like that.
Yeah.
That no filter, like there's no. I'll do whatever I want. But
That's
I cannot do
Charlemagne
that.
right
You couldn't
there.
pay me to do that, man, because I have an image to keep, man. Well, you know what I mean? What if I get a little bit of noise and somebody brings back the video, but like, yo, look at this weirdo, and all of a sudden the girl's
Yeah,
like,
I plan on running
"That's
for
all right."
president later on anyway, so I don't give a fuck.
Be careful what you
That's
put on
right.
social media.
Right.
Donald
For
Trump
those
can
of you
do it,
that
I
are
can do it.
tuning in late, we talked about like following dreams and goals, and then just things you learned about like how to stay focused and how spending time with yourself. That's a big one. Like I know like we harp on it, it's like beating a dead horse, but a lot of people like have to have someone to go with them to even go get some food.
Right.
Like if I'm hungry, I'm gonna go.
I'm gonna
eat,
get
you know what I
something.
mean?
Yeah, I'm
It's-
gonna get something to eat, man.
Or if you want to
Come
go
on,
take a
yeah.
drive and listen to music to just clear
I
your
need
thoughts, that's good
somebody.
too. I don't.
If
I
you
don't like everybody needs somebody,
Yeah.
but there is a
Yeah.
time. Now, I'm not saying go into deep isolation.
Nah,
and
you'll go
complete-
crazy.
Like, please keep in touch with your family and all that. But as far as like
because you
getting
still need
your
to
thoughts
express.
together,
Yeah.
please be yourself, because there's gonna be people like
I
you
think
are.
this is
You are the
best
company
thing
you
that I
keep.
ever got.
You know what I'm saying?
One of my best investment ever. My headphones. 'Cause I
We
can
went
sit
from
there and listen-
headphones to,
to-
life's lessons.
yeah.
How we
Well,
do
yeah,
that?
I'm just saying because like this.
Please
this is
tell me
where
the
this is
metaphor.
where I get my alone time. I sit here and listen to music.
Oh, okay. I see what you
Yeah.
mean.
See, I get that.
I
now.
get that.
It's
I
like
like
it's my best-
unless you're
yeah.
very savvy, that was nice,
Mhm.
man.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? Like
What the hell you
feel
think
like-
I used to say?
I don't know, man. You be going to love
What you think?
motels with your headphones. I don't freaking
Nah,
know.
no.
Yeah,
But no,
people-
that's true, man. I tell you one thing though, like if you don't like, okay, let me explain like this: you work a 9 to 5, right? And you go to this shitty job, maybe Pizza Hut, Domino's, Lawson's, Family Mart. It don't matter.
Yeah,
But-
I'm all shitty jobs.
100% of the time, the people that work there don't love their job down there because they don't see a future of being the CEO, because it's pretty much impossible being CEO of a Pizza Hut unless you know somebody or know somebody. But if you build your own empire, man, you'll go through the same stress as working a 9 to 5. So you either build your own empire, or somebody hires you to build theirs, because the people that started like Pizza Hut, they started off doing it themselves, and then they made enough noise and it had enough influence that they can hire people and make it profitable. And then now that person is sitting in Bali on his laptop watching all his Pizza Hut stores on the laptop, making sure nobody's stealing. And that's where you want to be. But I guarantee that if you put the same amount of bullshit stress that you do at work and you don't want to be there into your own shit that you have a passion for, then what happens is you create momentum and you start seeing it. And it won't feel like work, man. It literally will not feel like work. It'll feel like you're having fun and getting paid. And that's where you want to do it, because that's where you start looking younger and you don't get stressed and gray hairs and you actually enjoy life, and you see people saying I love my life
And
instead of
I
people
talk there,
saying
too.
yo, I'm 43 and I'm still working at this damn dollar store, man. Man, by the time I'm 36, I guarantee I won't be working no more. I have at least 3 streams of income, residual income, that I would be good.
See, those are the goals right there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
You have
That's good.
residual bills, gets you some residual income, man. Trust me. Cancel out that equation right there. Be
Stop
stressless.
building other people's empires. I
Right.
like that.
For
Build your
real.
own.
Black Wall Street.
What?
I am Dominican, so
You gonna have to elaborate on that. You gonna have to elaborate. You gotta explain, because some people might not understand what you mean by that.
I'm just saying. I mean, it was a preacher.
Was it
back in
random?
13, 14 or something like that? What was it Samuel Jones? His name was. He started this community in Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is
Tulsa?
Tulsa, Oklahoma, man.
You look
It's
like
right
Donald
outside of
Trump
Tulsa.
talking to me right there. Like with your hands, Tulsa, Arizona.
Whatever. Anyways,
He was saying
So,
whatever right there. I'm sorry.
so he started this this community with a whole bunch of banks, grocery stores. There's lawyer offices. Today's
I like your
income
shirt.
would be today's income would be
Tupac, rest in peace,
about
Dr. Dre.
$40 million worth of income each year, and so they were doing this, and then they actually had it going for like 7 to 8 years or whatever.
He's talking to you.
I don't care.
Yeah, you. Oh, now you don't care. Now you don't care.
Because it's a dude.
Oh, word.
He's like, now he don't care.
'Cause he's
Usually
being-
he's the one interrupting
Word,
people.
because
Like,
he's being serious today. I like it. I like
Yeah,
the
I was
change.
trying to finish my
oh, I'm sorry.
thought. He
Maybe
keep
you don't
interrupting
like
me.
you don't like your dose of your own medicine.
Word.
Oh man, doctor
anyways.
will stop.
Anyways.
Please don't forget where you were at. Go back. To where you were at.
Anyways, so that community was thriving for about 8 years. About 8 years or so, and until the guy got accused of whistling or hollering at a white woman, and then a mob came in and they cleared out the whole city. They bombed the city for like 6 days. They
He really
Yeah.
just sneezed, and they thought it was a cat call.
and so it's like
That's
300
not,
people
that's
dead.
not Emmett Till, is it?
No.
Is it? That's what you're talking about?
No. This that was after Emmett Till.
Oh, okay.
Emmett Till happened after that. Yeah, it was right after. It was right after that. But this was like the worst tragedy besides Rosewood, of a killing a community. So it's like 360 people that died in this whole 6 days of bombing of the
That's
city.
crazy.
But this city that particular community was making about $40 million, what today's income would be. So back then, about
Yeah.
40 million. So now that probably would have been close to like, a good,
Probably triple.
triple that,
amount,
yeah.
Inflation and all that.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. So we went from bombing, but the moral of that story is do what you got to do, man,
Yeah.
and just stay consistent, even if people bomb you, because you're gonna get bombs on the road. And the things you got to avoid doing too is taking 3 steps forward and 1 step backwards, because you're wasting a lot of effort. And usually the people that take those steps backwards are the people that get distracted, and they stop forgetting what they're doing it for. Like having a why is very important. Why you're doing something. If your why doesn't make you cry, you need to find a different why. My why are my children. So like everything for them. So when I'm feeling like I want to give up, I think about them and making sure that they're going to be set in their future. And I think about how my kid's mom had left me and moved to this country, and I followed them and did it on my own just to be in their lives.
Right.
That makes me tear up enough to want to keep doing this thing every day, because I don't want people to perceive me as being, oh, I'm a single guy out here doing all this with women. And it's like, you don't know me, but if that's that image you get, then you really don't know me. And that's my job, is to be that eye candy for girls, just to like my music. And that comes with it, But I know what happens behind the closed doors, just like a lot of people don't understand what happens behind the scenes in movies, and know that this movie looks so cool and beautiful in this house, but not knowing that room and that luxury couch and chandelier next to it is empty storage room. And you know what I mean? Like, they just see what's in front of their eyes and they believe what's in front of their eyes. So stop thinking like that.
it took
And-
like 2 weeks to film that.
yeah, yeah, for real. And also learn how to put yourself in other people's shoes and see through their eyes and feel through what they're seeing, so that you know how to treat them.
That's important.
Yeah, because
That's very
understanding that
important.
we're all humans is really important. If you
Collateral
see somebody
beauty.
poor, not poor, I'm not going to say poor. If you see somebody hungry, you don't even have to offer them to eat. You just get it for them. Because if you offer, it means you looking and hoping for a no. But if you really want to do something genuine, just do it for them, because they'll accept it. And to go back into that humanity shit, like, if you don't want to do something for yourself, just understand no one's going to do it, because the world is controlled by humans.
Gimme.
The world is controlled by humans. I'm gonna break it down. The world is controlled by humans. We're all human beings. We need certain things to survive: water, shelter, money, food, and everything is controlled by money. I forget one more, but it's gonna come back to me.
Yeah.
And one thing that people don't do, I guarantee you, go to the next person you see and ask them, hey, how's your health doing? And watch the look they give you. Because it's not a normal question to be wondering how your health is doing. But if you're really concerned and you really love the world and know that this is my brother, and you love someone genuinely, like, not talking about in love, then you should be concerned about their health, because maybe that's why he's acting the way he's acting. But only family members ask each other, you're doing okay with health. But if another person does, it's a problem. But everything like money, shelter, and food, all these things we need as humans to survive, we're getting taxed and charged money for. So you're telling me I need money as a human being to survive, and the person who made this rule is another human that needs the same shit? That's the most inhumane thing that I can say. And cows have better lives than us, because they get to feed on pasture and natural things. Why isn't there a tree that bears fruit on every corner or certain areas so the homeless can eat? And you know what I mean? Oh, they're gonna say, oh, because of bees and all that. It's not about that, man. Like, it's just people are greedy, and you need to learn a little bit about a greediness, but not enough to be considered
Capitalism.
infectious. You know what I mean? It's just crazy stuff, man. And just think about it. That's all I'm gonna say. Just question everything.
I get what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Always ask yourself why. That's it.
Yeah.
Why do you do what you do?
My kids, my 2 sons, they always ask me why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's so they can go to college, and I can go and retire and play golf all day.
But you seem like a bad parent if your kid goes, why are you doing this? Or why you go to work all the time? And you go, for you, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? They're like, oh. You know?
But at the end, guess what? At the end of the day, they eat, they sleep, and they go to school, whatever, and they don't have no worries in life. You know what I mean? And that's better than what I did when I first came up. When I was
If you
coming up,
haven't washed or took a shower with dish detergent soap from the dishes that you wash dishes with,
Right.
because you didn't have soap,
Right.
or if you had to take a hot shower by boiling up some freaking a pot of water and then mixing it with cold water to get the right temperature, or if you had to save water from the rain and buckets of water from outside to just take a shower, or you had to sleep in the. If your room was the basement, let's just say your apartment was the basement, and your kitchen had the furnace with the boilers and all that stuff, and that's where you ate, and your cockroaches running around your kitchen. Listen, this was my house in New York. Well, I'm not even gonna say house. It was my basement, in New York that I lived with my mom, my sister, my father, my grandparents, and this little thing. And like in order to go outside, you had to walk up those cement stairs and then open the doors like this. Like I felt like a groundhog. Like I felt like I was like, oh, it's wintertime. Fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Like, but that's why I'm very grateful for everything I'm having. To be a foreigner out here and I'm living good. I'm eating steak almost every day. Like
right.
I love it.
Nice and rice
and it's
and
not
potatoes.
that I'm saying that I'm high maintenance. Is that I know where I came from, and I know that if I fail at any time and go back to nothing, it can't be worse than that. And I know what it takes to get back to that. So I'm not scared to take those risks again. But the problem is that people that are I don't have any problem with the people that are fortunate to be rich and all that. My problem is that they don't have the experience. So what happens if that money, or they take a risk and they lose it all? They've never been through that experience to build it back up, that they're gonna freak out and become homeless or just give up on themselves because they haven't been experienced.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like
Mental toughness.
so I'm living my life, man. I don't know what's gonna go. I've almost died once. So like when that happened, like I understood that you don't control shit, but you don't control nothing in your life except for your decisions and your emotions. That's the only thing you can control. And as long as you take control of that, your life is fine. Because I was good one day, and then next thing you know, in the next second, I'm almost dying. So when I woke up and I recovered from that, I have several surgeries from that. I realized that I'm gonna live my life every day and just go 100%. And if I feel like I want to take that risk and do something, whether it's jumping off a bridge that's 20 feet in Okinawa and landing, and maybe this fucking shallow, I'll make sure it's not shallow, you know what I mean? But I'm gonna do it just because it's an experience, and I'll grow. Maybe I'll say, oh, I love doing this stuff. Let me try free falling parachuting, or maybe I'm never gonna do it again. You know what I mean? So just do it. Just do it. Take the risk, and don't be scared of shit, because you never know when your time is go. I hate buying stuff online because I hate spending money that I have and waiting 3-4 weeks to get it. I like to buy something and see what they give me right there, because what if I buy this nice car and it's getting shipped from Tokyo, but then, God forbid, I get in a tragic accident and I don't get to see that car. You know what I mean? Like, that's how I am, because I make sure that every day.
Well, you can't take that money to the grave anyways. So
It don't matter. It's the experience that you get from something, the value. You know what I mean? Money controls your emotions. If I give you $100, you'll be happy. If I take it away from you, you'll be upset. So
Probably
if you
slap
understand
you.
that money controls your emotions, if you learn to make sure that money doesn't control your emotions, then money will just come to you, because that's the way the law of attraction works. 'Cause you have to control your emotions when it comes to cash and watch money come. Don't get upset when you lose money. Don't get upset that you got to swipe your card and you can't afford something. But if it makes you happy and you realize that money ain't nothing, the next day, watch you find money, or watch you get this opportunity to get cash. But the moment you start worrying that you're broke, you're going to stay broke, because that's the energy given out, and you're letting the money control your emotions.
Yep,
That's why they
true.
call it currency, because the word current is in there.
yeah, that was deep. So we're gonna go to a music break right now. That was really deep.
Yeah, let's
Too deep.
spice it up with some.
Some-
What we got? What we got?
We got some R&B.
Hold on 1 second.
Does your pussy swear?
you, but that
Oh,
that
we
picture where the guy was eating the girl out, and he was
yeah.
laying awkward, and you were like, who lays like that?
Yeah.
First of all, you don't know if that guy's paralyzed from the waist down. All right, he looked like he was a paraplegic. All right, he looked like he needed his wheelchair. Somebody straighten his legs out.
It's all
But
perspective.
it don't matter as long as you're doing the job and she's enjoying it, man. Sometimes he might get a cramp, so maybe you know what I mean. Like I can't. Maybe I've done that. I don't know. Maybe I was just like laying down and I just leaned over and
You can't really see
you
yourself.
really don't know, right?
I don't know.
Have you
I
videotaped
never,
yourself
I never,
from like a not like
Hey, you
POV?
gotta-
I'm talking about like both of y'all. You know what I'm talking about? You good? What you got in your throat? Let me not go there. What happened?
No, I was saying I had a rotating bed though.
A rotating bed.
Yeah,
What?
you can see. You
What
can see
hap-
yourself. You say you see. Have you ever saw yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, the rotating bed. Yeah, you can see yourself.
You're talking about that like that's normal. What is that?
You never been in a rotating bed, yo?
No.
Oh,
You know
But
what a rotating bed
Are you
is?
telling me that while you
Anyone?
Okay, I'm guessing you're saying that the bed rotates
yeah,
and there's
that's
a mirror on the ceiling.
Yeah, it's a mirror on the
should've-
But
ceiling.
are you staring in that mirror 24/7 while you're having sex?
Yeah, I'm trying to see myself,
How the
dog.
hell?
And just,
So
Yeah.
she's on top
Yo,
the whole
he's
time.
back.
no,
She's on top the whole time then, and you're just watching like,
she's
yeah.
not on top. I mean, you can look up and like, yo, shit.
But that
Look
that
at my
makes you
That's
awkward.
weird.
What if someone put that illustration of you doing that in that magazine and be like, yo, what the hell's he looking up trying to eat pussy? It's not gonna work.
Well, I'm making sure my performance is good. You know what I'm saying? I'm grading my,
Bro.
I'm grading,
So-
I'm
It's
grading my
entertainment.
performance.
We
Yeah,
forgot who we talking to.
yeah.
So I guess the question is,
I'm grading my performance.
how do you enjoy the delicacy of the women, the pussy?
Throw it out there.
How do you enjoy
trying
that?
not to.
Yeah, I was trying not to.
To me.
We're talking about the positions. And
Oh, the position. Yeah,
Everything
yeah,
After this is a lie.
yeah, everything
He said,
after
what
this.
you mean?
What do you mean? You know what pussy is, man?
yeah. I know. Yeah.
You want me to explain that to you too?
Yo, shots.
But
Shots fired.
performance-wise, I got really shocked that
Oh.
not the picture, but he literally carried me up, like up.
That's the best.
Oh,
and,
yeah,
like,
yeah, shocking,
he's
yeah.
standing, carry me up, literally put his leg, my leg on here. I was like,
That's awesome.
super high. And I was like, he's literally
Yeah.
just like holding me. I was like, how strong are you?
I never tried that.
And it's actually, if you think about like from a male perspective, it's not that hard.
I didn't
Like,
try
because a
that.
women average weight is for a woman
like
is
110.
yeah. So like that's nothing. And once you got them over your shoulders, that weight of your legs are right here, and that makes you have to
put
wait.
it up, though.
Oh,
Put it up.
that's
it-
the initial.
hold on, all right,
That's
so
initial.
I've done this myself, so I'm gonna tell you the
Bend your
transition.
knees.
The transition is easy. Like
Yeah.
you'll put like the back of your knee on where your elbow is. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like you
Right.
thrust something. You know what I'm
And you
saying?
either have your knees bent and your
Right, and
and
then
your
you
back
stand up.
arched, and then when you just stand up and straighten your back, you're already up. So
Oh, I got you.
You
now.
see what
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah, 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 yeah.
heavy things you
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You start off
It's
like
all
this,
momentum.
and then you
Yeah.
just stand up. and
Hey,
your
big
legs
girls need
together,
love, too.
and your back. So it's like
Yeah, I got you now.
it's a trick. If I'm fucking up some people's game, my fault. But homegirl asked, so I had to, let her know.
See, the people forget the woman has a very, very important role in that too, because
Yeah.
you're grabbing on to the back
Right.
of his neck. You know?
If it wasn't for that, you'll be.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But it goes
it's
like,
teamwork.
"Wah."
Teamwork makes the dream work.
I'm like, okay.
Make that noise again.
I was like, okay.
If a girl did that when I picked her up,
I'm like, what? What? Yo, excuse me.
That's funny.
I was like, what are they? hell?
that's lit.
I'm like, is that your thing?
How about when y'all having sex and you're going at it like going at it, and it slips at the right moment where it hits something that's not a hole, and y'all know what I'm talking about.
It's just like
Yeah, and you're just sitting there like, should I keep going? Even though it hurts, because I don't want her to think that and be like, oh, are you okay? And then it ruins the mood, and because she's staring at your stuff, and you're like,
Yeah,
it
that shit
hurts.
does
and,
hurt though.
like, I've happened to me several times, and I'm gonna say sometimes I stop, and sometimes I just keep going. But when I do stop, it means I was like worried that it might broke some, it's all blood, right? But it's not bone, but some veins or some vessels. Like I always,
crazy
I go to the
'cause I was
bathroom,
watching the show.
I take a shower with cold water to help with the pain, and I'm just sitting there like,
yo, you were going.
yeah. But when it's
It's
not that
reminded me of the
bad,
show I was watching, yo.
yo,
Look at the sex injuries.
like I'm talking about going at it, like That shit
Dude,
sucks.
he broke his penis.
No, I've seen that.
You just came out too far.
You want to hear a story? You want to hear a story about? All right. So while I was in the Marine Corps, right, my roommate. You Marines are crazy. My roommate happened to jack off every time I leave my room. Right. That's his time of privacy. You know. I don't know, man. Like put it on the door, bro. I got a freaking key. I got a key. So like. There was several times that I walked in the room and he's just like mad suspicious, like in his bed. And I'm just like, I get the hint and I leave. So like, you know what I mean? But okay, so one time he's going at it, right? And I hear the porno from his phone, like it loud. And I was just like, damn, I need something from my room, but I can't just like
y'all
come
were
back.
sharing the same
We're
space.
staying in the same. It's a barracks room.
Oh.
And freaking, I was like, damn, man, I really need to get this. It was my wallet or something. And I was going out. And but I needed to go. So, like, I just freaking opened the door and I went, right? He had the thing like this. And he rolled, like, with his shit stiff. All that weight snapped it. Like literally, it was like black and blue, I guess. And it was like curved. And he was screaming. He had to go to the hospital and do whatever that. Like, he literally rolled.
Yes, that's possible.
He rolled
I was
all
watching-
of it.
I
All
was
his
watching a
weight.
video like that.
It's crazy.
I don't
But
even wanna think
don't
about
get
it.
me doing that, bro. What you doing? I'm over here like this.
They have a TV show that
Best
come on
picture.
Sunday nights in the States called Sex Injuries.
Sexy.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yo, you can break. Yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can break your penis.
See, you learn something.
You know what I
Yeah.
just recently learned too? That when we're being what's it called, created in the womb and all that. There's a certain period of before it's determined to be a Y chromosome, X chromosome, boy or girl. That
We were just talking about that.
the clitoris is actual penis.
Yeah.
That's crazy. And when it decides, it starts. That's why if you look at a clitoris, it kind of.
You're right.
It's like a mini penis. Like it's tiny, like a mini penis. So what happens is like when it decides to be a girl, instead of creating balls and whatever that else we got, it decides to open up and create something else amazing to create life. But it's just crazy to think that
At a time, you were once a woman.
or a time you were once a boy. Like you did not know yet.
So
It's crazy.
I have a dick.
Yeah. So you can tell a guy suck my dick. Like
Oh yeah, I would
Technically,
too.
you can't.
yeah. But it's just crazy, man. Just learn. Information is free. And it's 2017, 2017. So if you still don't know how to find information, man,
Sharing is
sharing is
caring.
caring.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another thing to go
We
back
got about
about
15 seconds now.
to talk about what we were talking about earlier. I know we went to a crazy transition, but it's also good to learn when to speak. Like if somebody's wrong and you know you're right, sometimes it's not even worth to correct them because you can
We
already
can finish
say
on that note.
yeah,
right there,
because
bro.
like I've noticed it sometimes. I'm a lot smarter than people think. So when stupid people are talking, or people that think that I'm stupid and they're trying to manipulate me or whatever, and I'm looking at them like, is it worth to correct them because they're gonna believe that they're right? So it's not worth that confrontation. So let's just learn when to speak. Sometimes you might be the smartest person in the room, but sometimes you don't want to come off as arrogant or rude because when you're smart, like other people that are not as smart, they feel offended.
Time to
You know,
say
even if
bye.
you're saying right. But
Bye-bye, everybody.
DJM, we out.
Facts.